What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Billy Collins.
MATJ.
This is Magician.
The Jock.
Guys, on this episode, we have a special person.
A Jockette.
A Jockette. Miss Brooke Kittrell, owner of Lotus y la Luna. I did good.
You did great.
I did great on that one.
She's obviously Hispanic. Big fan of
that. Do you speak Spanish?
A little bit.
A little bit?
More German than Spanish.
A German
Diversity
Spanish.
is our strength. She's
we
white,
span the
white
globe.
Blonde hair.
We span the globe.
She's the new diversity. But no, we were talking before how you came up with that name.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that?
I was in Costa Rica.
So you can just look at us. We got this camera.
Okay, where was this thing?
Just look at us. You're
Okay.
talking.
So we have to turn the TV
So
on.
I was in Costa Rica, and I fell in love with the lifestyle there. It's very similar to our lifestyles here.
Just
everything-
vacationing and
Yeah, we spend a lot of time in Costa Rica and Puerto Rico when it's cold here. I do not like being cold. But I fell in love with the lifestyle where everything just revolves around the water. I loved how everyone came straight off the beach when they were done surfing or they were coming off the boat, and they just went straight to whatever else they were doing, like dinner or bar.
hashtag salt life.
Yes.
Salt life.
You know what Eli Salt life? I have to work on that.
But my boyfriend and I also live on a boat, so there was that relation there, just everything revolving around the water. That's where the name Lotus y la Luna came from. It means lotus and the moon in Spanish.
And that inspired you to start your own line.
Yes, I
Called
couldn't
Lotus y
find
la Luna.
anything around here where I could just hop off the boat, toss something over my bikini, and go wherever I
Without
needed to go.
spending $400.
Without spending $400
or-
on a cotton sundress that I'm not going to wear anywhere.
Tell us about that process. How did you get started?
What the hell is a lotus? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's
It's a
a flower.
blooming flower.
I'm thinking locusts.
No, so
coming
I
to
have a
Armageddon.
lotus tattoo, but I can't show it to you right now. So the lotus
To our
flower.
Patreon members, $29.97 a month.
So the lotus flower has a lot of significance in Buddhism and yoga. It actually grows in the mud. And I love the symbolism there because it physically has to grow through the muck to blossom. And it's actually the highest form of enlightenment you can get in Buddhism because you have to physically grow through the muck.
Is that why they do mud baths?
Well, mud's really good for you, actually.
Really?
So, yeah, that's why they do
We should
mud
shoot
baths.
an episode in a mud
I
bath.
don't need it, but
My God.
eventually
How fun would that be?
I just rub like an ant pile on my face. well, I'm enlightened. Oh my God. I have leprosy. But that's cool. So German, you went to Costa Rica, named your company Spanish after Buddhism.
Well,
Essentially.
it's super simple.
That's a
Just,
lotus.
Very simple.
And then La Luna, the moon.
The moon. I love the moon. Another symbolism. The moon doesn't have its own light.
Just pretend like.
Okay. I'll just pretend. Are you still filming? Like, what are we?
Yeah, we're filming.
Okay.
I just found
The moon doesn't have its own light. It's just a reflection of the sun. I just think that's beautiful too. I'm like weird, emo. I love symbolism. So that's where
You're a spiritual person.
Yes, that's where the Luna part came from, because it's the moon. And I just think that how amazing that the moon is so bright, and people, obviously the moon controls so much, like the tides, everything.
Currents.
The currents, everything, but it doesn't even have its own light. It just reflects off the sun.
I didn't know that it was a reflection of the sun.
You didn't? Read a book, dude.
Come on.
Jesus
He didn't know
Christ.
either.
You're going to name our company The Sun. 'Cause it reflects light from the moon.
I think you have those mixed up.
Whatever, let's go with it. It sounds good.
So that's it. So, but it first started with, there were clothing shacks and stuff
Yeah,
there where you
there
could get
were-
it and you're
yeah,
like,
you were
why
like-
can't we get this back home?
Exactly. I love the little, you would be coming off the beach, and there are these little, kind of like shacks, and they had a bunch of local designers, and it was stuff pretty much made to go over your bathing suit, and we just didn't have anything like
There is
that
something
here.
cool about that. I grew up part of my life in South Carolina, going from where I lived in Georgetown, South Carolina, to Charleston. You go through Santee, and they have these little huts on the side, and they make the grass woven
and
baskets.
then they take them to Charleston to sell.
Yeah, or you can stop there at the huts and
Yeah.
buy them. It was pretty cool to see. It's so organic, and they use natural resources.
We had Dave Free on Anson
I
Belts,
love him.
and his dad was actually in China and noticed this belt in a shop and was like, "That's really cool. I want to try it." Brought two home, and was like, couldn't find it anywhere. Was it kind of like that here, or you already had your finger on the pulse of what
Yeah,
women
I
can
mean,
buy?
it was kind of similar, and it was so simple at first. It was just finding pieces that would go over a bathing suit, like materials and stuff and cuts that would go over a bathing suit that you could wear straight to dinner. But then it evolved.
Yeah, so maybe catch the viewers up. So it started like that, just real functional. But now if you go on your website or you're very active on social media, there's a lot more than that now.
Yeah, we've definitely expanded from more than just bathing suit cover-ups. It's more of a lifestyle brand now. Definitely had to pivot last year with COVID.
Did you make a Lotus Lumen mask? Be honest.
No. I didn't.
Gold mine. I should have done that.
Should have jumped on that train.
I couldn't do it, but we definitely have more like casual wear, loungewear. We've expanded into baby and toddler stuff. It's all organic. Yeah, it's all organic and made in Oregon. The brand that we carry for babies and toddlers. And then they have matching shirts like for the moms too. They say like Mother Lover and Raising Wolves and Wolf Pup. We've also expanded into home goods, fair trade home goods. A lot of bags. We have a company out of Nepal where the women who make them get 100% of the proceeds. It's this really awesome nonprofit. But yeah, we've definitely expanded, and now we focus more on eco-friendly and fair trade.
So how do you find products?
You didn't make the clothes yourself?
No.
It's all...
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to source everything. I mean, I have to hand pick every item in there, and I have to do a lot of research. I mean, you can't just go online and find eco-friendly fair trade goods. It takes a lot of time, right? But I've done it all for you, so it's already done.
Yeah. Form fitting.
It's already done, yeah. I mean, I'm sure I could find your size.
So you had to find people that were already making these clothes.
Yes.
Because it was exclusively online.
Yeah, so that's another thing. We were online the first 4 years. I started in 2017, and that actually evolved. I never saw myself having a brick and mortar. I didn't want a brick and mortar. That evolved from people asking me to bring the clothes places so that they could actually see them in person and try them on. So locally, we started doing pop-up shops in other stores and restaurants and all kinds of stuff. And people would ask me to set up, so we'd haul all the clothes there, set everything up. We did the Seafood Festival, the Beaufort Music Festival.
Were you near those Indian dudes playing the flutes?
Oh, yeah. Every year, man.
They're like, actually, that's not what Lotus means.
Yeah, I know. They're like cultural appropriation over here.
You got it. No, that's
the little German girl's got it wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, always near fun and dressing people at festivals.
Yeah.
Festival life was a whole different ball game. Then last year, they canceled all my festivals. So that's when I kind of had to say, all right, am I going to make it? Is this going to survive? So I really focused 100% online and had to hustle. I mean...
You post pretty proficient.
Yeah, you kind of have to these days. I feel bad. I've only posted one thing on the Lotus Instagram today, so I feel guilty for not posting
Lotus
more.
stock tanking.
I know.
Yes,
sorry.
I can feel them losing interest as we speak. But I kind of learned early on.
I post on the Jason and Jack like once a week. Oh, we have this person in the studio.
I know, and that's the thing, but like different posting schedules work for different people. I mean, that's another part of all of it. I had to pretty much teach myself what was going to work, what my viewers want to see. It's so, I don't know. I haven't figured out the magic formula at this point. So obviously the algorithm changes. Hot chicks is where it's at.
That is one thing.
I mean, it's not there. Look,
I gotta clear my history after looking at that Instagram page.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're not doing that after you look at Lotus, then I guess I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, definitely beautiful women who doesn't want to see that in beautiful clothes.
I will say, all the girls in there are super hot. I mean, I will say that. But you're very tasteful about it. It's not like you're just throwing out like an OnlyFans. You're very tasteful.
And I didn't even know what OnlyFans was until like a month ago, y'all.
You're
I
selling
got
sandals, and that's all our models wearing.
I got a awakening to that by several men asking me if I had OnlyFans. I do not.
Got him!
By the way, so yeah, you have to have beautiful women, hot chicks on there, but it's also for women. So there is that line where you have to be very tasteful about it, and I'm just like, here's 8,000 girls in thong bikinis every single day.
See, I think that might work.
Well, my personal page is
Right.
pretty much.
Right.
But you have a like a variety of. It's not like you just have like model
Yes.
style. I mean, you have different size women. You have different age groups that come in.
That's my biggest thing that I'm really working for this year. I have customers that are 15 to 65. I have all sizes. And I get a lot of flack because people see this one thing and they think that that's all we have. But I really do work hard to show that we have women of all ages and sizes. And that's what I love doing. I love when a woman walks in the store and I kind of push her out of her comfort zone and I put something on her that she wouldn't choose. And then when she looks and feels confident, I feel like I've done my job.
Almost like I used to date a personal stylist, personal shopper at Brick
Yeah.
and Mortar up in New York, and that's
what they do, yeah. I mean, and that's
people
what
come
they
in
do.
and they're like, I'm not sure what to get, or
Yeah.
I love the style, but
But I don't think
I don't know,
can
I'm not
wear
the
it.
exact same dimensions you are.
Yeah.
I bet that is pretty fulfilling, which you can't get on just doing it online.
And that was a game changer when the Brick and Mortar opened.
Did it feel like because sometimes you can have an online business and you work out of your house.
Yeah.
You could have a thriving business, but it doesn't, there's something about Brick and Mortar, bumping elbows
Feels a
with your
little bit
customers.
legit.
Yeah. You get
Yeah.
a name, you get a big sign, and
Yeah, I think that was one of the craziest and most surreal things this year was turning the key and walking into a space. And that has been one thing that has felt, like I said, so surreal. I have people tell me all the time that they can feel a vibe when they walk in the shop. It's not just a regular clothing boutique. I mean, my heart and soul are in there, and I feel like you can tell that when you walk through the door. And
Almost tells a story.
it tells a story. Every
Yeah.
single item has a story. I mean, they know where it's made. Like, a lot of the items have the picture of the woman in Nepal or Thailand or wherever. So they actually get to see where it's made. A lot of times they'll pick up an item and I have to stop myself because I'll just start rambling. I'll tell them the whole backstory of the item and they're like, that's crazy that you know all of that.
Yeah.
But it's an experience when you shop
sure.
in the brick and mortar that I can't necessarily get from the online sales.
Yeah.
So for you, what are the pros and the cons of having it online?
I honestly thought that the day I had the website ready to go that I was just going to say, all right, the site's live and sales are just going to come pouring through and I was going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. But the market is so oversaturated now with online shops. And this was 4 years ago. It was already oversaturated with online shops. So unless you're sitting there like 8 hours a day trying to figure out SEO and everything and how to stand out
Search
in a
engine
crowd,
optimization.
search engine optimization.
I know
Yeah.
everything about everything.
I can't disagree there. It's very hard to make a name for yourself when there's just
Too much noise.
so much noise. I mean,
Mhm.
how do you set yourself apart when there's already so much out
That's a
there?
good thing there's not many new podcasts out there.
Well, we are a rarity nowadays. especially
Groundbreaking.
Like
now.
15 have started while we were like, should we use headphones or no headphones? Hey, I got
And
a
that's
great
the
idea.
truth.
We should do a fashion podcast. Damn it.
Damn it!
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, online, but you weren't just women's fashion. That's too broad.
Yeah.
You can't open a TJ Maxx or a belt
Online.
It's because there's no differentiator.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty niched.
And I had to learn that very quickly. You can't just sell women's clothes. I mean, that's not, you're right, we're not a TJ Maxx. So it actually wasn't until, I guess it was maybe 2019 where I really carved that out and said, what are we doing here? Like, what is setting us apart? We can't just be a women's clothing boutique.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. So that's really when I went down the rabbit hole of eco-friendly fashion, sustainability, fair trade. It wasn't enough just to be a clothing boutique. I wanted to find a way to change the business model, to have more of a story, more of a personal like shopping experience when you come in. It's not just, here's this shirt on a rack. So many different ways. But yeah, so I wanted...
So you just put mud all over the floor. You're like, look.
Look at me.
It's a metaphor.
You should do that. You should start putting mud like, no, seriously, you can look like this if you put mud. I'm actually 65 years old.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
There's a portrait of her in the attic that's getting older. What's that movie? Like, don't look at it.
Dorian Gray, is that what it is?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Here he is.
See, if you need consultants.
Yeah. We got you.
But that is competitive. Anywhere there's opportunities can be competitive.
Yes.
Like, women's fashion, women buy clothes for other women. They don't like.
And that's the thing, like, everyone has to wear clothes. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean...
Don't make a joke.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I mean,
there it goes.
I do get myself in a lot of trouble because on my personal account, like, I pretty much live in bikinis. So I'm like, everyone has to wear clothes. But here I am not wearing clothes.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's a whole nother podcast. But technically everyone has to wear clothes.
I feel like opening a men's boutique because there's really, we don't have anything.
There's some places, but I think men, it has to be a little bit more practical.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a big enough population to open up a really high end here.
No.
I think might have some seasonal stuff.
I think you and I are interested, honestly, here. That was another thing that I struggled with when I did finally open the brick and mortar here. I don't have anything like anybody else has here. And it's not your average, like, no offense to soccer moms, I'm a mom, but it's not like your average soccer mom where you're going like, no, sorry guys, sorry, I'm a mom, I'm allowed to say that.
Damn your kids.
There was nothing like it here. And we do push a lot of boundaries and we do ruffle feathers, but like I said, that's all part of the brand, and life's too short to dress for.
But you have to be yourself. At the end of the day, your niche is your niche. You have to maintain that and keep it.
And I'm learning that it's a fine balance between triggering women, because women are very body conscious, and look at all the other brands that have been built from women's insecurities.
Do you think this makes me look fat?
No. What? No.
There's like a multi-billion-dollar industry for makeup and hair care and Botox and plastic surgery. We're constantly inundated with, this is what's wrong with you and this is how you should fix it. So I feel like it's kind of my...
There's not many doing that. I see like a 500-pound woman at Walmart with 6 kids. Dudes, we don't care.
Yeah. But
it's for women.
Yeah.
And gay men. That's all people are dressing for. Let's be Bill Burr talks about that.
Yeah, that's true. We are our own worst critics. But I feel like it's kind of my job to show women that it doesn't matter what size you are or what you look like. It matters how you feel.
There's a lid for every pot.
Yeah. Yes.
My dad would say, son, that's 10 pounds in a 5-pound sack. He sees how so that does a little bit. There's tasteful ways to do it. Flattering and not.
Yes. Learning how
you can't be everything to everybody.
Learning how to play up your assets.
I think you've established your brand well enough so people know that. People knew you before you opened the brick and mortar, or even they knew you from the pop-ups.
Yeah, they definitely did. And I am grateful that I opened up a brick and mortar where I was from. I honestly didn't want to, but it does pay to already have people that know you. I guess that's good and bad, actually. It doesn't always. It doesn't always work out that way.
That bitch doesn't even wear clothes. Look at her personal
page.
Who does she think she is?
That's a mass-produced bikini. She's a fraud.
Actually, all of my bikinis are custom made by another local girl. It's called Boca Custom Designs. Check her out.
Oh, yeah?
Boom.
Made out of hemp. Very itchy.
No, the bikinis
when
are
you
not
sweat, you get high.
Yeah, that's right. But no, that is cool. That's I mean, fashion is so massive. Like, go to any store, the men's section, it's tiny.
Oh yeah, but look at we have.
That's why we make our own clothes.
Yeah, I made the shirt.
But dudes, like if
we actually did make.
I find a shirt or jeans that fit, I will have them until.
I don't care. I don't care if they're out of fashion.
No, they're coming back.
Yeah, they'll be back in 20 years.
I mean,
fashion revolves at 20
It'd be
years.
tough to make it because it's a volume business. You can't just,
Yes.
It's like these commercials with gum, and they're like the longest lasting flavor. The flavor never runs out. It's like they would never sell more gum, but it's got to be a recurring, customer. So how do you're constantly posting new stuff. I mean, keeping it fresh while also reiterating, hey, because now you have probably a lot more inventory.
Yes, a lot.
By the way, I know this is new, but this stuff over here is still cool. How do you keep that balance?
It's definitely a good mix of everything. Kind of like how y'all were just saying, where you find a pair of jeans that works for you, and you're just gonna wear them until you can't anymore. I think once a woman finds something that fits her like that, and she knows that style is gonna work for her, I kind of have to use that for marketing and say, oh, you already have it in this color. And then I try to get things that work for more of the same in that particular style, and then bring on pieces that are going to work with that and show her like, oh, you already have this. So this is going to work with what you already have in your wardrobe, because I already know. I mean, it's funny, a lot of them come in, I already know what they have. So I'm like, this is going to work so well with this piece. So you kind of have to make them feel like you're listening to them, and you want them to know that you hear them. Like, this is what you're asking for, so I'm going to try to bring it to you. But it is also kind of sliding things in there that they don't know that they need yet. And you have to tell them that that's what they need.
The add-ons.
Yeah, and then
Add-ons,
the upsell,
are...
you always have little things at the cash wrap. Like, oh, this
necklace
would
look great with this dress.
Yeah.
Oh, Butterfinger. That's Walmart.
We don't have Butterfingers at Lotus, but
this BMW would look great with that cover.
So great.
That's true, though, because I'm looking at you right now. You're a walking billboard of your business.
I have to be.
I was gonna say, does it add some pressure?
It does. It definitely does.
You can't go out bummy.
No. Well, I never have. I mean, we've known each other since high school. I have never.
It was rough. It was a lot, dude. People were giving her money. Like, I feel so bad for you. You weigh like 74 pounds. Eat. You've always been.
I got best dressed at West Carteret. So I got best dressed in my sorority when I was at UNCW. But yeah, it does put a lot of pressure on you, because even when you run to the grocery store, someone's going to know you in there. So I do always try to represent my brand the way that I want it to be represented.
Especially if you're going to say this is a lifestyle brand.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to live
I mean, that's the thing. Like, the shirt that I have on, I sell them in every color that I can possibly get them in. I get them in because they're made in the United States. They're eco-friendly. Women of all ages and sizes buy them. But then I also like to show different ways that you can wear a piece. Like, maybe a 60-year-old woman who comes in is probably going to want to wear this with, like, jeans and be very, like, subdued. But then I like to show how you can wear things in a whole different way.
Check out this shoulder.
Yeah, right.
Look at this.
That's the thing that I like to tell women. Like, your weight can fluctuate and everything, but like certain parts of your body are always gonna look the same. So you
your
kind of
collarbone hasn't changed.
It's popping,
Like
your collarbone is looking.
What is your secret?
Right.
You got a fat collarbone, dude.
What exercise do you do?
But that's the thing. You got to tell women how to play up their assets. So.
We always talk about be great at what you're good at. So, like, kind of finding the things you do naturally well. Like, you probably can walk into a room, too, and tell, you could be an interior designer or whatever. You figured out how to marry that to a business to where now, hey, I can do this every single day. Now, when you try to, they say, do your passion and work, and now all of a sudden it's a job, did it lose kind of its allure a little bit? Because now you're like, going to be intentionally, it's not as organic as it used to be.
Yeah, that, I actually was talking about that when I walked in today. It has been an adjustment period to have a brick and mortar now with all the responsibilities and an employee and all the stuff that goes along with the brick and mortar. It's not just about the clothes anymore. So Having to be more business minded on that aspect has definitely taken on a whole life of its own. But I'm still so passionate about the fashion part of it that the business side, I've just kind of had to teach myself and learn as I go. The passion behind it is definitely still there, and I think that's what keeps me going for the business part.
I know for us on the channel, we're constantly looking up stuff or constantly
But it's
doing
fun.
things.
It doesn't feel like work.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at Matt, look what I figured out. Or Matt be like, look at this cut, look at this edit. You know, it kind of makes it fun.
Yeah, the day, I love this quote, the day that you stop learning is the day that you die. I mean, if you are not trying to always learn new
There goes
things.
my, sorry.
There it
That's a
is.
good one.
There it was. I mean, if you're not constantly trying to learn, especially about something that you're passionate about, I mean, what's the point?
It's fun research. It's probably research you were doing for yourself.
Yeah.
And probably, did you have people commenting like, hey, you know, where do you get your stuff? Or how did you?
Oh, yeah. Before I even had the online part of Lotus, I had a style blog. I mean, this was like 6 or 7 years
I was going to
ago.
say, I thought I remember seeing that was around for a while.
Yeah, and it actually got wildly popular. I don't even know how or why. I had a style blog called Tigers Don't Lose Sleep Over the Opinion of Sheep. And it was pretty much just showing people.
That's the name of our new podcast.
I loved it because
you were in Spanish there.
Right, you gotta do it in Spanish. You have to, just to complicate things.
Yes.
But yeah, I've always had a different eye for things, like you said. That's not something that you can go to school for. So I've always had a different eye, and I loved putting things together. And at that point, I was mixing the fashion with what was going on in my own life. I was going through a divorce at the time, and I had a baby. I was young. I was going through all this stuff, and I wrote about it and mixed it with the fashion, and it made it more relatable to women just to see.
I hate turtlenecks.
Right.
Like, she's really mad.
Oh,
at it.
Jack.
Right?
That's
It was
right.
just like ripping the turtleneck
Yeah.
off. Like,
Yeah.
and it was kind of an evolution of watching me go through this whole, like, I have to be so structured and this is what I have to wear because I'm a mom and this and this and this and this. And you kind of watch that evolution of me.
I wish your mom would put this in. We were talking about.
Yes.
We won't talk about that.
We won't talk about
Remember that
that.
song, Stacy's Mom?
Yeah.
That's Brooke's middle name,
Yeah.
Stacy.
My middle name is Brooke,
I'm
actually.
all grown up.
So you hit on something. I heard a thing recently saying that lions hunt through the storm, and it's because they are, one, the prey can't see them coming, and two, it's kind of like no one's there. You don't have any competition because no one else is going to hunt through that time. And I feel like, because I went through a divorce too and started the channel, I thought it was a good time to start the channel. And then, like for COVID came, so there's people that are willing to hunt through the storm will survive. Those that to say, okay, I'm gonna throw my hands up. And you actually, I felt like that's what you were hitting on. It's like you did hunt through the storm.
Yeah.
You were going through all this stuff, but you started the blog, and then the
Blog through
blog.
the storm.
I
Is
blogged
there
through
anything
it.
more modern than blogging through the storm?
I
Blogging
blogged
through the storm.
She's using a lot of bold. And did you blog in Comic Sans? God, I just love that font until I realized, like,
Everybody uses that.
Everybody uses it.
yeah. Was it just kind of a distraction?
Yeah, but it definitely led to it being
Then
more.
you have subscribers, and now you're
Yeah.
they're waiting on what
They
you
were
got.
waiting on what I was gonna say, and I think it was so bizarre to even fathom that someone that didn't know me wanted to see what I was wearing and what I had to say that day. I had people from all over the world that were emailing me, so way before Instagram direct messages, they would email me through the blog and say that it helped them with whatever they were going through. And I loved that I could mix fashion with real life issues. And I feel like I've brought that into Lotus. And I'll always love mixing fashion with whatever someone's going through because that is what I'm good at.
Mm.
And that's how I got started.
What do you think my fashion is saying? Buy a bigger size. Stop wearing your son's shirt. Don't dry it on high heat, for the love of God.
Hang dry. Yeah.
God.
Medium's on.
Yeah, no, that is cool though. Because, I mean, we're all artists in some way. We just have different canvases. I was just trying to think of a quote because you guys did 2 quotes on me. But like writing, like I can sit down and start writing and it just flows out.
Yeah.
Maybe similar with you with the blogging, but also through fashion. You can put stuff together.
Well, on top of that, you're a phenomenal photographer.
Thank you.
I mean, your pictures are.
I feel like
work
that
is really, really
kind of came from all of that. I had hired several different male photographers for Lotus. I do still use one of them. Joey's great.
So I say, Joe.
Yeah. Well, I shoot most of the stuff for Lotus.
Smile with your eyes.
Right?
Did I say that?
Yeah. One time he told me to be the denim, so that's where we're at with that right now.
I just
Be the denim.
immediately flex my
Did you go?
butt.
I did too.
I'm like, I'm being it.
I'm like, I'm denim.
I was shooting all denim look on the beach, and it was like 10 degrees outside. He was like, just put the top over this way, and I was like, it's 10 degrees
Yeah,
outside.
that's right.
So he was like, be in the denim. But anyways, I kind of took over the photography part because I did have this whole vision in my head, and it was not being produced the way that I wanted it to be produced.
It's like lost in translation.
Yeah, it was lost in translation, and it was kind of the whole thing that we touched on at the beginning. Hot girls in hot clothes, yes, but you also have to present it to women in a way that they're like, oh, I can do that.
I'll be like,
I can wear that.
all right, touch your toes. Okay. This is going to translate well.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to show it to women in a certain way. So I took over the photography part, taught myself, bought a very old Nikon, and just kind of worked my way up to different lenses, better lenses, and taught myself all of that. And
Glass.
It's
We call it glass
glass,
here in the
okay.
industry.
Oh, in the industry. That's the thing. I'm not like a professional photographer. I just took over for my store. But I've loved that whole aspect of it. I forgot. I love that whole aspect of it because I think a lot of times women don't see themselves at other women the way that other women see them. And it was another opportunity to show women how other people see them. So I put the Lotus clothes on them, and then I shoot them in the Lotus clothes, and then when they would see the pictures, they would say, "Oh,
wow.
okay. Yeah, I can
really
wear
neat?
this. Yeah, I can wear this."
Yeah. Whereas me, if my phone is accidentally in selfie mode, I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell? Yeah.
Angles.
Should have washed my face with ants.
But it's true, like, I don't like to hear the sound of my own voice.
Same.
It's putting out content.
I love my voice.
Yeah, we talk about, like, I put a video out the other day, stop competing, start creating. You're
I love that.
in fashion, it translates really well visually,
Yes.
and video and stuff. Not
visual.
all businesses translate that well. If you're an advisor or a consultant or a psychologist, you're not going to be like, here, I'm thinking about confirmation bias. Or, you know what I mean? It doesn't translate as well.
Yeah.
So it's
definitely a visual industry.
So were you the main model at first, and then did you like having others come in so you could be, because you were probably the creative genius and also having to.
It has definitely been an
Did you
interesting
do that?
journey. Yeah, I did just that.
That was good.
I was the model at first. I think on the very first Lotus photo shoot, it was me and one other model, and Joey actually shot it. We were on our boat that we live on, and we made I had a whole storyboard of everything I wanted to shoot. I had the scenes that I wanted to shoot. I hired a videographer to get drone footage to create a commercial for the behind the scenes of the actual shoot.
Niche
It was Alex. So I like being on the other side of it now because I see
you're old now.
everything. Shut up.
You're old. Your kid.
I am the oldest Lotus model.
Your kid has an after 9 license, so like.
Shut up. I am the oldest
Yeah.
Lotus model at this point. The constant one when we have different models rotating. But yeah, I like being on the other side of all of it now because I want to be able to see everything and control
Mhm.
everything, and you can't do that when you're modeling.
Yeah.
So also I'm old.
I
now,
remember that video that was shot. I want to say it was at Oceana.
Mhm. Oh,
Too hot for TV. It was
Too hot.
it was our introduction into bikinis.
We're here. Hey,
So, do you need videographers?
hey, bro. I was like,
We did.
that glass just kept fogging up. You can see the photographer was just like wiping the. Like, good lord. Scene.
It's so funny you mentioned that. the bikini designer that I was talking about earlier with Boca, she was one of the models for that. So I love how all that works too. From that photo shoot, from a bikini photo shoot, she now designs and makes her own bikinis.
What did that commercial have against fabric? Like,
What did fabric do to your skin?
I
I've really got to see this.
that's my screensaver.
shut up. I like showing women that you can show a little more skin.
Those women can.
This is the youngest we'll ever be. Like, this is the youngest we'll ever be. If you're not happy with your body now, I mean, so like, I don't know. I don't have frumpy clothes, we'll put it that way. I like women to show their bodies off, and I feel like,
Well, to be proud of it.
yeah, I want you to be proud of your own body and to show it in a way that makes you feel confident. And if that means not a lot of fabric, then by all means,
Not a lot of fabric.
yeah.
By all means,
So let's-
check that commercial out.
By
Oh,
all
I'm not hating.
means.
I'm not hating. Ooh.
Now let's be honest though. You've shot a lot of women. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite shoot? I'll sit back and wait.
Okay, that's a no-brainer. My very good friend Allison.
Wait, I thought it was me.
Oh, other than you.
Oh,
First
damn
of all,
it.
you said women.
Put your clothes back on.
You said women.
I did say women.
So
It's 2021.
if it would have been,
Hello.
you're right.
If I want to
Okay.
identify as a woman,
Well,
On all levels except physical, I am a wolf.
just because I got to be
if you would have said anyone,
He hasn't
whoever
been there.
I've like favorite person that I've ever shot, I would have said you, because obviously like you with your little
cards.
and everything, that was money. I mean, that was money.
That was a money shot.
But women wise, my
Is that
friend
what your
Allison's
LinkedIn
probably
profile
my
picture is?
Yeah,
Lester the Molester.
no big deal. I took those pictures.
Yeah. Stick to thongs.
Jesus. So
There's that.
let's get back to the business side of things. Now you have the shop. The Brick and Mortar also allows you to showcase other up and coming entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, or whoever the case may be.
Absolutely.
And let's touch on that. How many do you have right now?
I think it's 17 different artists right now. That was another. Like I said, it's still very surreal. The storefront opened in January.
Billy's gonna break in and be like hanging these in there.
No, I will sell the shirts for you. I'll
gonna,
toss them
like, tie
on with
it
a
up
thong
here.
bikini and we'll shoot them. And I will sell those shirts for you. Done and done.
We need to do it every color. We gotta
Okay.
try.
Every color. But yeah, it's very surreal. This summer, we actually are starting it again this Thursday. We do locals nights on Thursdays, and we have a local artist coming in to set up for stuff. I love having the space to showcase other up-and-coming artists and female entrepreneurs, especially in a pop-up setting, because that's how I got started. So we built
I understand the plight, like how tough it is.
yeah,
to
it's
get
hard. It's hard to
visibility.
it's hard to set up and break all that stuff down. People don't understand how much work actually goes into it. So I love having the space to allow other people to do that. So this Thursday, actually, we've got locals night, and my good friend Trisha, she's also a nurse. She makes these beautiful macrame earrings. It's called Naughty Life, like naughty, like a knot, but Naughty Life.
No,
Right? All right.
Yeah, well,
So
apologize.
she'll be there this Thursday.
And I'm gonna be reading slam poetry.
Yeah, in the back. We'll have Matt reading poetry
Yep.
in the back.
Raising my hands a lot. Specific point of view on things.
It's going to be a hoot. Y'all should all come.
Now that's cool. So there are other kind of shops like that more for crafts. Though. I know my sister Joanna does all
Yeah.
kinds of like woodworking stuff.
Tell her to
Um,
set up a shop.
But sometimes some of those shops can get so many where it gets lost in there. Are
Yeah.
you highlighting it, spotlighting it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I especially like doing the pop-up shops for when a new artist wants to come showcase their stuff. I especially like when I want the artist to be there so that when people come in, they actually get to talk to them and get to know them and see their stuff.
Because you like
and
to
they
tell the
can talk to
story
them.
behind
Yeah, there's got to be a story.
Mhm.
Can't just be, here's some macrame
Here's
earrings.
Here's some naughty earrings.
Yeah.
I mean, naughty. What is it? Naughty like?
Naughty, like
Naughty.
not Knotty, like not, but naughty.
Kanati.
Naughty
Kanati,
Not
life.
the same ring.
Yeah. No.
Doesn't sound the same.
That's cool.
It is really cool.
cool. I'm trying to think of something I can put in there.
Yeah.
And you shop.
Selfies by Matt.
Self-portraits.
Yeah,
Self-portraits
put
of
one
Matt.
filter on these. Is
that the same picture with different
that's
filters?
warm and cool. Remember Zoolander where you had like a calendar, every page was like the exact same picture?
It gave people a chance to see a side of my versatility.
Merman pop.
Yeah,
Merman.
that's right.
So what's the next step? What are we
I'm
doing?
trying to- do you think it could do like a franchise model
We've talked about it.
without losing, you know?
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to lose the authenticity of the shop. I mean, we took 4 years to find our market, and I don't want to just sell out and be like, here's 17 more Lotus Lunas and not have the character and everything behind it. Definitely talked about maybe trying a second location next year. I don't know. Branching out, a second location is on my radar. But we talked about this the first time you interviewed me for Lotus on your other channel. Just branching out into more eco-friendly, fair trade categories in the shop itself, like menswear eventually. I'd love to do menswear. The hardest part of all this is I don't want to be a sellout. So if we put something in Lotus, it has to be the brand. So I can't just toss menswear in there. I want it to have the same vibe and feel. I know it's two different things, but I want it to have the same vibe. So menswear, more children's and baby stuff coming
Cactus
in.
Ela Soul.
See?
Cargo
Cactus and
shorts.
Cactus and
Cargo
the sun.
shorts.
I can't do cargo shorts.
You hold so much stuff in there.
That's the
You can
truth.
carry
There will
their
be no
dad's
cargo shorts.
dream.
Oh,
There will be no cargo shorts.
Damn it.
But yeah, branching out in more aspects of the shop itself, but keeping the same vibe. So
yeah. I
more,
mean, when we talked with Dave, I complimented Dave and Anson Belt that they've stayed in their lane.
yeah,
They just perfected their lane.
yeah.
I think I could see with clothing, it's like it starts out, we serve this niche, but now we want to include everybody, and eventually it just
You
gets
can't
so watered
include
down.
everyone.
Yeah.
When
And
you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one.
Mhm.
You have to know who your target market is. That's why I've been so careful about the way that we've kind of evolved. I'm not for everyone.
Mhm.
I'll never be for everyone. But that's okay. We found the people that want to shop, and they come back to us time and time again because they know when they walk through the door, they're going to find something that works for them.
Yeah.
Right. Plus, you're doing you're being great at what you're good at. I mean, you stay,
Ruffling feathers.
you know.
Yes, I do ruffle a lot.
I was reading, I love advertising, marketing and stuff, and they said when you sit down to market or advertise, you have to ask the question, who am I going to offend? Because you need to offend someone. It can't just be, it's so watered down because you want your customer to go on there and say, oh, this is for me.
Yeah.
If I go on there like, oh, this is for me, you know what I mean? It's complete. You couldn't do anything to make it for me, and you would just end up
Losing
alienating
everyone.
the
Yeah.
other one. You know, so it's really who are you going to offend? You mentioned, have you
I
gotten
like
have you gotten some hate?
that. Oh, a lot of hate.
Not like intentional, just being
Yeah.
controversial just to be controversial.
Yeah, not blatantly trying to offend people.
Right.
But you do make an interesting point, especially in the fashion industry. When I did, even before I opened the Brick and Mortar,
Women are
like I
vicious.
said, women are vicious. Yeah, they absolutely are.
You're like really pretty.
Thank you.
So you agree?
What?
You think you're really pretty?
Oh, I don't know.
Unfortunately, it's not coming from a place of intentionally being vicious. Women are just self-conscious and they get triggered and they project it onto other women. And once you kind of see where that's coming from, it's a little easier to say, okay, well, this woman is not offended by what I said or what I did. She's just projecting her own insecurities.
Yeah.
So I do like to ruffle feathers. I like to have different stuff that no one else is going to have. Lotus shows a lot of skin, and that's a lot of, that's controversial sometimes. But,
Not on here.
but, you know, it is what it is. I like for women to feel happy and confident, and that is a trigger.
There's just some people who are offended
By
in general.
everything,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're going to find it.
I deal with it on a daily basis when women walk into the shop, and they make a comment about my size or my age, and then I have to go through the whole, like, well, I'm 33 and I have a kid too.
You
And
got to apologize for
You
that.
have to
genetics
apologize
and
for the way
staying-
you look.
See, guys do that to me all the time. They're like, Matt, your triceps Like, did a horse get on Shaq and
Did
kick him in the back of
somebody
the arm?
kick?
And I'm like, look, guys, my cross to bear.
Look, I'm sorry that my
Sorry, not
triceps
sorry.
look like a plow.
This is an extra large, okay?
It's not easy being you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to apologize for who you are, and it is frustrating.
Do you actually apologize?
Well, I find myself kind of shrinking back instead
well, you
of
know what?
saying, "Not sorry. I'm 33. I have a 10-year-old
I would
son."
challenge. I would challenge you to say, yeah.
Yeah.
I would stand up and say, if you don't like it, go F yourself. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, it's
I'm having
because
to learn that. Definitely, especially having to physically be in the brick and mortar when a woman. It's one thing for someone to say it online because you're like, okay, internet troll. But then when they say it to your face and you're sitting there and you're like,
You can't just be like, block.
yeah, you have to. I am kind of having to learn how to stand up for myself and say, yeah. But I also have to say, I love dressing women of all ages and sizes. So this style might not be good for you, but let's try this
You're
one.
talking about big women, be honest.
No, I mean, like different body types
Because you're
have
like, this
different.
style may not be very round motion. Like,
Different body types require different styles, and that's all there is to it.
It's
That's
not-
not being biased, that's just the facts. Different body types require different styles.
and
isn't that bad? That's controversial to say that. Like,
yeah, I
Yeah.
think people look down.
like, how
Nowadays-
dare you?
Yeah, how dare you say that?
Oh, you
yeah.
can't say different sizes. That's just brutal.
It's not inclusive.
But I will say that everyone cannot be your customer.
Yeah, that's
And sometimes you're just going to have to.
That's
Okay,
all
well,
there
if you
is
don't
to
like it, don't come in the shop. I mean, it's no offense. Go to Burrow Girl or whatever
Yeah, and I do.
surrounding shop.
I send them to other shops and I say, well, maybe you should check out this shop because you might find something that you like there.
Come, Penelope. Let's go someplace where they treat us with respect.
Try the moon, you'll weigh less now.
But yeah, we're definitely not for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's
I think
okay.
Larry Wingate, who's motivation, she's like the pit bull of motivation, says you can't have avid fans without having avid haters. Like, so everybody wants just to have fans and everyone to like them. You can't have that. You gotta stand your ground, be consistent, and right or wrong, you gotta find your hill to die on.
Yeah.
So happy dying.
All right, Brooke. So, if a younger Brooke came up to you, what advice would you give her if she wanted to follow in your trend and your footsteps? What would be a one solid, sound piece of advice?
And would she listen?
Well, I'm just not just a Brooke, old Brooke. I'm just talking about any girl.
Old Brooke.
Well, you've already declared that I'm old, so it's fine.
A Brooke that can actually hear you when you talk to her.
Keep being you would be the biggest piece of advice I could say, because we've kind of touched on this before. You can't make everyone happy, and you just have to keep being you, and eventually it pays off. I mean, I have people come into my shop and buy the clothes that I sell because it's my style. They see me out and they say, I love your outfit and I love how you put it together. And then they come buy it at my shop. And so I would say keep being you.
Because eventually people will try to copy you.
Yeah, and there it is.
Sorry,
Yeah.
this was the only one left on the rack.
With that being said, if you want to purchase one of these, could drop us a comment down below.
So staying authentic.
Staying authentic, yeah.
Was there times where you were like, man, I'm getting flack, or being authentic doesn't seem to be the most advantageous thing to
It's
do?
not. Definitely. I still get flack. I've kind of talked about it already. I don't have the same sense of style that everyone else does. And sometimes it is a bit intimidating because it is comfortable to be and look like everyone else. I mean, that's people's comfort zone. They want to buy the same thing that everyone else has and they want to look like everyone else. But when you kind of go off on your own and you say, I don't want to look like everyone else, this is me, this is my style, it does intimidate people. And it's because it's unfamiliar.
Who does she think she is?
Who does she think she is?
Yeah.
Is pretty much what I hear a lot.
But within reason. I mean, you're not like, I look at the fashion industry and it's like, let's put the most ridiculous stuff together. Like high fashion.
And that's the thing I've got a good mix of, we don't focus on what's fashion. We don't focus on what's trendy. We focus on what makes women feel good, and if it happens to be in style at the time, that's awesome. But I think people trust me and my business because I'm not trying to push something that's trendy on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, high fashion, it can make a woman's body look horrible, and people are like, it's in fashion, so I'm going to toss this trash bag on. They're like, it looks great.
Yeah, it's like abstract art.
Yeah, I'm like, no,
that
does
not good.
That's not doing anything for your body. It's not, just because it's in doesn't mean that you should wear it.
Yeah.
So staying authentic in that lane too, not just buying things for the shop because I think that they're in style has paid off too.
So did you order a whole bunch of those Tax the Rich dresses? I heard that was really trendy.
What?
AOC wore that the gala, whatever, says Tax the Rich.
No.
And she's going to a $38,000 plate.
Right?
Tone deaf.
Right? Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, I'm just checking.
She wears Tax the Poor dresses. Poor bastards. Yeah. So it's like I like to DJ. Okay, DJ Fat Face is my nickname. But I do like anytime there's I did my aunt's wedding. I always get asked to DJ, and I'm like, I don't know, but I just play music I like to hear, and hopefully enough. Like
and it translates,
other people,
yeah.
it would be horrible if I was sitting here guessing. I think they're going to like this song, so you kind of have to tune that out. It's kind of with you. You were saying, "Hey, is this something?" First makes me feel good, then hopefully enough other people. It takes a little of the pressure off.
It does.
It simplifies it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not
trying to just compared my
like
my
DJ
I've never been.
Shameless plug is fine, but yeah, it does. It is the same thing. A lot of companies try to play to the trends and they try to keep up with the fashion industry, and you can't keep up with the fashion industry. It's like Instagram. The algorithm's always changing.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to, like you were mentioning with David, you kind of have to stay in your lane and find what works for you and then kind of modify that to keep people buying more.
Yeah, I was going to say, the business side.
You have to keep people buying.
You mentioned you have that in every single color, so you're not an idiot. Like if people are saying, "Hey, we have money we want to give to you," well, no, I'm not feeling that anymore.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I carry very small amounts of things. I'll buy like 6 of an item because I don't want everyone to wear it. But then there's certain pieces like this shirt and other things that I have where I can't sell enough of them. Like people just keep coming in. Like if I get a new color, even from last year, they're like, I have to go there today and buy that color because I don't have it.
Is that intentional to keep, like, the scarcity is huge? Because I was going to ask, women, like dudes, you can see another dude with the same shirt, and it's like, you probably saw him in the store, you're like, high five the guy. But if that's...
Looks good on you too, bro.
It's like...
It's the opposite.
It's terrible for women. You walk in and they'll leave. They're like, I'm out of here.
And that's the thing, that's why I carry such small amounts of things. Now, it's a little different with, like, basics. Like, this shirt would be considered a basic, even if you see this on someone. Like I was saying earlier, you can style it in so many different ways. It doesn't even look like the same shirt.
Basic B.
Yeah, no.
Isn't that like a cut down?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No.
Oh, basic in a good.
Basic in a good way, like a wardrobe is built off of basics like this.
It.
Yeah, but I'll never have a ton of like the same
statement piece.
Yeah, because I don't want everyone in the same thing. If you're coming into my shop, you know that you can buy something because not everyone's going to have it. Yeah.
I was wondering if now that it's brick and mortar, that's why a lot of women won't shop at big box stores because there's like 40 of the same shirt.
And it's a difficult business model, honestly, because you're like, I ordered 6 of this thing. Yeah. So, but I think it's paid off for me. Like, because we were just saying, I have 6 of an item.
Right.
So I'm like,
it's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
It's very smart because, one, you don't sit on a bunch of inventory and have to do the clearance sale, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, 2, it's that unique status. A lot of online's doing it, for a limited time only.
Yeah.
We're going to drop this, and then once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
You can't get it again.
Yeah. And it is scary, and
it gets that urgency for people.
It does create a sense of urgency.
We're going to have to go to Nepal and buy it. Just like Brooke.
Right?
She's got that parka on, hiking.
They're like, are you sure you
It's
only
the
want
ball.
six? That's quite a travel. Take
She
two
had to
colors.
hike the Himalayan
Yeah.
mountains just to get these.
She with a stick and like goggles. I got these 6 shirts.
She's a mule.
Come and get them now.
Yeah, I mean, do you start promoting this stuff? I mean, it's probably a lot of that stuff's already sold out before
Oh
it gets
yeah,
to you.
it happened last week actually. We got this crazy fringe jacket, and apparently Western wear is in right now. I don't care.
What is Western wear?
So like the fringe and the cowgirl boots and the cowgirl hats, but I'm sorry, Western wear will always be in for me. So we always have like fringe jackets and crazy
you're
stuff.
like a beach Buddhist cowgirl.
Yes.
Because I remember
I
you
love
always used to wear
cowgirl
cowboy
boots.
boots. Yeah,
I have cowgirl boots from all over the world. And that's the thing, no one else has these cowgirl boots, but I'll mix them with the Lotus clothes. But this crazy fringe jacket that I had to pre-order months in advance came in. And we were at a shoot, we were with Joey, and I had brought all my cowgirl boots. So I had all the Lotus models in my cowgirl boots with like crazy just cowgirl hats and all kinds of turquoise jewelry and these jackets. And I was doing behind the scenes Instagram videos. People were messaging me from the photo shoot, like, I'd like to go ahead and pay you a PayPal. Can I pay you for this jacket now? They're like, I don't see it on the website. Is it in the store? I'm like, y'all need to calm down because it just got here today. Like, we're shooting it for the website right now. Before that shoot was over, we had sold out of it.
Wow.
So I went ahead and placed another pre-order. I did reorder that one because honestly, I didn't get one of those jackets, and I really wanted one. So I get one from the next one. But there's 12 altogether. I mean, it's not like there's...
I would do that at the store. When I had my surf shop, I would order stuff just for me.
I'm gonna do
and if people say, oh, I want it, I'm like, sell it. You know, because you just sell the shirt right off your back.
I have before. I've literally sold stuff off of me before.
And you're like, it looks good on me, but you know what?
We're having a clearance sale.
You want that shirt?
That's right.
Off with the shirt. But yeah, it's, and the whole like creating exclusivity, it's like, well, if you didn't buy it while we were shooting it for the website, then you missed out on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's tough to create, because some people will try to create that sense of it when they don't really have it. You know?
Yeah.
But there's 2 or 3 shirts here. Like, seriously, get it, take it. You're not using it as manipulation.
Yeah, I'm not using it as a marketing tactic. I mean, that's really how I operate the shop. So I think people know that when I say come and get it today, I mean come and get it today. Yeah.
What percentage of your sales are online versus brick and mortar?
There was a bit of a turnaround this year when the brick and mortar started because I didn't have as much time to put into my online stuff. The online's still about 15 to 20% of the sales, and the rest is brick and mortar. Now, holiday season, I don't know how that's going to be this year because I have built an online following, so they do buy.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I would have thought it would have been a lot higher than that.
Yeah,
it dropped. It dropped a lot this year because I didn't have as much time. But it's going to be an interesting holiday
season. Can't serve 2 masters.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I do everything myself. I do the website, all the photography. I'm the buyer. I have to order everything.
Soccer mom.
I'm the soccer mom. I'm in the shop working it myself. So when it does slow down a little during the off season, my goal is to put more time into the website because I don't want to leave those people high and dry. They're the ones that helped me get to where I am with the brick and mortar. So I always want the online shoppers that don't live in Carteret County to feel like I'm still putting as much work into the website.
And let's be honest, there's way more people in the world than just Carteret County.
Yes.
You got one more candy, buddy.
I forgot. I'm sorry. I apologize.
If you could wave a magic business wand, what would you do all day, every day? And you could delegate the crap. I mean, there's a lot of stuff with every job, but what would you be doing?
I know it sounds crazy, but I would style photo shoots every single day. That's my creative outlet. I love starting from the beginning. I'm the one who picks the clothes. So when the clothes come in my head, I see the model, the makeup, the jewelry, everything else. I see where we're going to shoot it. Yeah, instantly. And I see where we're going to shoot it. And then when we're on location, we're actually shooting. It feels like I'm bringing something to life.
Yeah.
So if I had my way, I'd be sitting there drinking at a photo shoot.
There you go.
But you still have to, like, maybe the business context. What would you be doing with the store, online? What would you be?
I'd be traveling to find new products.
You kind of
on the business
get back
side.
to what you did when you first started.
Yes, I because when we did pivot to the fair trade stuff, we have stuff from 18 different countries. So I'd like to actually myself be able to go visit every single country that we purchase from and get to meet the women myself and see where it's actually being
That'd be
made.
good content.
They're all wearing
Right?
wigs. They're not even women.
They're not. Wait a minute.
What the hell?
Right?
You're
How?
just a very small man.
That's right.
Well, but yeah, that would be on the business side of it, traveling to
And then
find a new
promoting
product. Yeah,
through that.
yeah.
Very cool. So, do you have any advice for us? Our studio, or what? I mean, this is.
Same advice I would give myself. Keep doing you and be authentic. I mean, you can't recreate anyone else, and you two both have your own things going on. So definitely keep being you.
Does it feel like Make-A-Wish?
Like when you came in, did you like, I
Matt's
gotta
the
do this for these
superstar.
guys?
No, Matt's the superstar. I'm just like taking
I'm
kids
just like-
fishing over here. Like, yeah, you can hang out. You can play with me, I guess, dude. Just don't talk.
Yeah, if you want to. Oh, by the way, just buy all the equipment, okay? And we're pretty good.
Yeah. Have you looked into doing like digital products? So like a buyer's guide or because you've had a lot of people reach out that want your guidance. I think you could do a pretty cool.
Wow, that's actually a good idea because I've bought digital.
Actually, I've got so many of them.
I've bought digital guides like for there's like one called the Boutique Hub where they'll put out like a yearly content calendar and what you should be buying and all this stuff. Like I tend to stray from it, but it's a good guideline. But yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Because there's a big influencer who does real men, real style, and that was his kind of main lead magnet was like an ebook or something. Even if you don't, you can sell it, but it's a way to. And you can kind of sprinkle in your own stuff.
Kind of like the funnel.
Like, isn't it crazy? Her, like, fashion to look forward to were all stuff that she had in her shop.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
you
could do some strategic stuff because people love the clothes, but they love they probably watch how you put them together and say, okay, get what she has.
I actually have had people ask me to do videos on how I'll take one item and then put it all together. So that's actually a really good idea.
Oh, we could do like challenge videos with her. Just have random clothes and say, Brooke,
make it look good. Oh, that's
together.
a perfect idea.
Thank you.
Don't they like Bake Off
High
shows?
five, big guy.
Don't they do that with like Bake Off? They have all the materials and they have to
it's like,
figure out
you
how
make
to
the cake.
Yeah.
But no big girls allowed, Lotus. That's what Brooke said in.
Brooke said that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
See how she whispered that? She didn't want to hear it. But no, this is, we've been watching you from afar. It's pretty
You're
cool.
doing great. You know, I'm a big fan. Always have been. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
And
In fact, I'm probably going to keep drinking wine after.
There you
I'm
go.
filming.
There you go. So,
Can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So my mother
Words to live by.
Yeah.
well, Brooke, thank you so much. You are amazing, strong. Like I've said in the past, in the dictionary under humble and hungry is your picture.
Simp Billy incoming.
Sip time. I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and guys, do us a big favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell.
Smash the like button.
And we'll see you on the next video.
Peace.